y'all, it's Kara here with another grazing muzzle tip. It's nearing the end of the season, and for a lot of us, we'll notice things that were working all summer are maybe starting to not work anymore, like they might be removing the muzzle or coming in with different issues. And a lot of times that happens because the leather parts on our muzzle and even some of these other like the corner straps or different parts can start to kind of stretch and wear out as things get wet and then dry, kind of back and forth, and are being worn for long periods of time. Things can kind of get stretched out of whack. So if you find that your horse is starting to remove their muzzle, and especially if you find that they're removing it and all of this is staying buckled and it's pretty much, you're finding it all in one piece, there's a really good chance that changing this adjustment will help. So unfortunately, if they've worn it for a while, it can be kind of a pain to change. That's why I have my hoof pick here. And you want to do this with it dry if possible. It's a little easier. The nylon doesn't swell up as much. But if you kind of like work it around and soften everything up, a lot of times it gets like crusty in there with mud. And then if you can kind of dig a hoof pick or a screwdriver in there and kind of use that to pry it up. This one has not been adjusted in over a year, so it's stuck in there really good. It's gonna bend my hoof pick here. Once you can get it in there and start to kind of work it through, there we go. So I was able to get that to pull up just a little bit. There we go. So what you want to do is you want to slide this buckle up by pulling some of the nylon through and then pulling it down this way. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring this further back, and it will make the loop that goes around the back of their neck a little bit smaller, so it'll be harder for them to pull over their ears. And so that will account for if your crown piece has stretched at all. You may also, when you do that, need to lengthen your center face strap to allow it to kind of sit back further in the smaller part of their neck. But anyway, I'm gonna keep working at this, and I'm only gonna do about like an inch, half an inch to an inch. I don't want to do too much because I don't want it to be too tight, but it might be snug when you put it on, but it should be loose when your horse reaches down to graze. Usually that kind of stretches their neck out and gives them a lot more room. So if it's a little snug, that's not the end of the world. As long as it's not snug while they're actually reaching down to eat or drink, it should be good to go. Let's see if I can get this one. There we go. I think I got it. So yeah, it can be a little bit of a pain to do, so I definitely recommend using like a screwdriver or a hoof pick or something similar to kind of get in there and pull it through. This is really hard to do with your bare hands, especially if they've worn it for any amount of time. There we go. So now that I've got some of that pulled through, about half an inch, I'm going to pull it down this way. And it might not want to pull down very far to kind of loosen that up because it gets kind of in a groove. Let's see. I've got my helmet on here for safety. There we go. All right, so I had to put a little elbow grease into that, and I only got one side pulled through. I'm gonna pull this, see if I can get the other side. The other thing that might help is adding like a little WD-40 actually. So I got it about half an inch down. I didn't want to go too much because this is already fairly snug on the horse that I'm using it on. But that's my best tip. And then if it keeps happening, especially if everything is staying buckled, and they're just getting it pulled over their ears, my next best tip is to add a neck strap. So that would be your next step. We sell those on the website, and they're pretty easy to use and usually help with this issue.